I built a light-up dice tower that activates by throwing the dice. Here's how. But that's not all. I put an even bigger surprise in there that you don't want to miss. Stay till the end to see what it is. First, we need to build the actual tower. The tower I'm using is the Castle Grayskull from Archon Studio. It's an exclusive model from their Master of the Universe board game, but you should be able to make something similar with any dice tower. Hi, I'm John, by the way, and this is The Creative Geek. It's a place for you who not only consume but also create geek culture in one form or another. For example, through technology enhancement of dice towers, like in this video. This is nice, but I think we can do more. I deliberately didn't glue this together. There's a bit of an opening up here, as well as an opening here, which I could probably fit something into without disturbing the dice. It should be painted green stone as the original one. So I'm thinking some kind of red-orange light coming out of it, maybe. I glued the large pieces. So here's the bottom, the back side. The front is just one piece. One of the towers. And here on the back side we also have half of the larger tower. So this one is going to go in here. And this is going in front. That's where the dice fall out. The dice are falling through this tower and then out here. This is all open, but there's nothing in there. After careful examination, I found that there's a small hole here. And then on the back there's an opening here which doesn't connect to anything. So I will be able to put technology in here and hide it behind this final piece. And through that hole I can lead wires up, fit an LED strip over here, and then put some kind of sensor in here. Either drill it through into this one or put it on this wall, depending on what type of sensor I use, so that it senses whenever there's dice falling through. I've been thinking about what to use. I could use some kind of infrared sensor or something else that kind of builds a barrier, and when something falls through the barrier it reacts. Or maybe I can put some kind of tap sensor here. I'm thinking maybe it's enough to glue a piezo element and just listen for the noise. What I think I decided on is to use something like this. So this is a buzzer. And if I send a small signal into it, it makes a sound. But actually that works as a microphone as well. So there's a piezo element in it, and I'm going to pull the piezo element out, glue it on here, and that way it senses sounds. But it's not that sensitive to spoken sound or sounds being made. But it will be very sensitive to sounds echoing through the plastic. So when I throw in the dice in the top here, as soon as they bounce along the sides, that sound is going to echo into this one. If this is interesting to you, consider clicking the like button. It's a great help for me. And it helps the algorithm to know that it should put more stuff like this in your feed. From me as well as from others. Here's my attempt at trying this out. I just stuck the piezo element on there with a bit of tape. This is just to see if it actually works. I cut off the protection on top of this to expose the membrane. And here seems to be a good place to put it. So now I'm going to glue it in place, solder on better wires, and then of course solder in the glue in and solder the LED strip. Here in the actual dice tower I made a small cut here. That way I can pull the wires through there. And now, moment of truth. I glued the sensor into place here. I'm hoping it will be more sensitive now when it's fixed to the structure. I'm plugging this one into this one. And then I'm going to glue on the front, and nothing's going to be accessible anymore. I still find it useful to use the connector like this, because this one ties into everything in that tower. And this one ties into everything into the main building. And that way I could do them all by themselves and then just plug them in. So even if I don't have access to it, it still made everything much simpler when making it. Even when you plan ahead, sometimes you end up in these bad situations. I didn't get a good reading out of the one I used. But now I have a new piezo element, and this one works at least 10 times better. So now I'm cutting wires and soldering from the inside. This is not perfect, but hopefully it works out. this works quite well, but I think we can do more. There's a space in this tower, and by drilling a hole, that space leads directly into the main chamber. With a bit of filing, I realized I could put a single-use vape in there. And yeah, I'm using one without nicotine and with as little taste as possible. I'm definitely no expert in vapes, but these types of vapes are activated by the airflow, so there's no secondary button or things like that. And they're meant to be sucked on here. But they also work backwards, so blowing on it produces smoke. By connecting a small air pump for an aquarium to the back of this one, as soon as the air starts flowing, smoke comes out the front. And I can direct that smoke through that hole that I made into the main chamber. Now I just need to connect a relay to the Arduino that is running everything else, and have it start as soon as it registers the dice.